Hello guys, it's Miss Mart and I'm here to help you with how to add integers. So when adding integers, we're going to be referring to these key points. When the same direction you add, opposite direction you subtract, and then you keep the sign. Oops, I forgot to add. Keep the sign of the highest absolute value. We're going to be referring to these rules as we subtract these integers. Now, if you like to see another way, a quick tip is that if you click here where it says learn with an example, you can review as to how you can add integers. Okay, so here we have -3 plus 2. So I'm going to type here -3 plus 2. Okay, so -3 is a negative number, right? And my negative numbers are right here on the left side of the number line. So I'm going to highlight it red. The positive 2's are on that right side of the number line. That's where all my positive numbers are. So I'm going to highlight it green. So I'll go back. Same direction. If they were in the same direction, they will both be pointing red or both pointing to green. But since they're both going opposite directions, we're going to subtract. So opposite directions, you subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. But I need to give my answer a sign. So which of these two numbers has the highest absolute value? -3 does. So I'm going to put a negative. Why is it -3? Because if you look, the distance between -3 and 0 is 3. That's more than the distance between 2 and 0, which is 2. So that's why the answer is negative. Another way you can determine the sign is if you ask yourself, which sign do we have the most of? In this case is negatives. You have more negatives than positives. So we're going to go ahead and enter -1. Perfect. Next is 5 plus a -3. Again, using the same process, 4 plus -3 equals, okay, 4 is positive, and I know all my positive numbers are on the right side of the number line. -3 is negative, and I know all my negative numbers are on the left side. Again, they're going in opposite directions, and since they're going in opposite directions, you subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Now, I need to give it a sign. I'm going to look at the absolute value of 4, which is 4, absolute value of -3, which is 3. In this case, 4 has the highest absolute value, and it's positive. We're just going to leave it like that, or you can put plus, but we'll leave it like that. Another way, like I said earlier, you can ask yourself, which do we have more of? Do we have more positive or do we have more negatives? In this case, we have more positive, so my answer stays positive. Now I have -2 plus 5. Going back to my little key points over here to help me. And then I'm like Dory, I have short-term memory. Oh my. -2 plus -5. Okay. -2 plus -5. Okay. So I'm going to look at -2. And -2 is negative. And I know my negative numbers are on the right, on the left-hand side of the number line. If you look at the number line over here. And then -5 is also on the left-hand side of the number line, which you can see here. And so they're going on the same direction. And since they're going on the same direction, then we're going to add. 2 plus 5 is 7. Now we need to give it a sign. You can still use the absolute value concept to determine the sign, but we're just adding two negatives. So we're just going to keep it as a negative. And then we're done. So when going through these problems, go back to these key points to help you how to add integers.